Good. Get around. Make sure. Good. Send her back the other way. Good girl. And that's something I want to show you today, is a nice way to teach a young dog to cover a draw fence, because ducks often ducks are probably the hardest stock to get off a fence compared to sheep and cattle. Cattle, you just have to have some patience to take them off, and so do ducks. Ducks and cattle are actually a lot more alike than sheep and ducks, or sheep and cattle. They're very honest, and they don't take well to being overpressured. Cattle don't take well to being overpressured, and either do ducks. They respond differently. Good girl. You're fine. We're going to let them settle again, and I'm going to show you that move again. Down. Excellent. Good. So there's a difference between her tucking them in behind me and coming too high or too far and making them come out of the corner. And that's what you have to kind of decide. Is she coming high to tuck them in, or is she coming high, she's already tucked them in and now she's following them, or going into their pressure and she's going to scoot them out the other side. And that's just a decision you have to make, okay? So I'm going to show you a piece of handling here, which is very, very good for teaching young dogs, or even old dogs that have problems getting ducks off of fences. I'm going to show you a little bit of a method. So let me talk first, which is, because it'll happen very quickly. I'm going to send her on the go-by side to get these ducks off. When we get them off so far, if she over-rotates on the go-by side, they'll simply roll around us and head back to the fence. So what I have to do is, when I take them off so far, I must block her, send her back the other way, back to the heads of the ducks, so that they don't beat her to the fence. If I send her on a circle, they actually might beat her back to the fence. So we're going to show you that. Lie down, Roxy, down. I'm going to show you that little handling skill right now. Good girl. Let's do a little out first. Out. Good. There. Down. Okay, so I'm going to start on the go-by side. Get around. Going kind of fast. Go. Get around. They came off. Hold on. Oh, they're not cooperating. Okay, so they came off, and now I'm going to block her, pull, and send her back the other way. And we're going to try it again. Hopefully it'll happen a little closer to the camera. Sometimes getting things to work is a little difficult. Down. Roxy, down. Good girl. Good job. Good job. So we're going to try that again. We're going to start on the go-by side. Go, get around. Good. And now they've started to come back, so I block and pull, and then I let go. Good girl. Good. I was telling a student not too long ago, she was having trouble deciding which way to send her dog, if she rocked her dog back or if she let the dog continue on the circle that it was headed. And all I can say is some of it's a little bit of feel, which takes a lot of time. But in reality, what I'm doing is I send the dog the quickest way to the heads, because we steer stock on the heads, not on the tails. We push tails, we steer heads. And so I'm always looking to send the dog the quickest way, and usually the dog knows the quickest way to the heads. Good girl. And we're going to try to show you that one more time. Down. Good girl. You'll notice her ambition has come up since the first time, and she's getting a little bit more cocky, having a little more fun and an opinion about stuff, and that's good. That's the way it should be. But when the dog makes that step towards wanting to control the stock more for themselves, you also have to take your step and assert yourself into the picture more. So a puppy may be very soft in the beginning and being very obedient and not wanting to overpressure you or pressure the stock too much. But as their confidence comes up, they start overpressuring and taking over a little bit. You have to change your game. So we're going to try to show you that stock work one more time. She's in a rush, and I'm not going to let her be in a rush. Good. They're already off the fence. And now they're curved back to the draw, so I block her and pull. Get around. Good, so that they don't go back to that draw fence, the corner they came from. That was a good one. That was a good example there. She's trying to get wider to get away from my block, and so I had to move a little bit more. She's trying to avoid my rake rather than pay attention to my rake sometimes. And she's avoiding by getting wider. Get around it. No. She's going to bring the many to the few. That's fine too. Good. And so I'm going to step forward, and I'm going to block her, and I'm going to ask her to get wider before I let her return to the ducks. Good. And I do that simply by just keep walking and claiming space on the ground. So block, step at her shoulder. Good girl. There you go. Get around. And now I'm going to turn and let her fetch. You're not fetching if your feet are forward. You're only fetching if your feet are backwards. But sometimes we have to have our feet forward to pressure the dog. Good. Feet are forward. I'm pressuring her, asking her to get wider, and now I'm going to back up and let her fetch. Gentle. Down. Nope, down. Good.